Welcome to the 19th annual Solstice in Times Square Mind Over Madness Yoga. Be sure to visit our sponsor tents in the Yoga Village on Broadway between 47th and 48th Streets, right after class, where there will be a variety of sampling and giveaways and prizes. This class is being streamed on Facebook Live and Twitter at Times Square NYC, so text your friends to watch and check your feed later today as well. And now, please give a warm welcome to Times Square Alliance President Tom Harris, along with event co-founder Douglas Stewart.
Thank you, Joe, and thanks to everyone at the Times Square Alliance and the production team that made this possible. Thank you for celebrating the last class of Solstice with us here today in Times Square. And this class will end just as the sun sets, so that's going to be a very special moment. The solstice is filled with a lot of symbolism, and so is Times Square. An empty Times Square was symbolic of the pause and the pandemic. And us being here together is symbolic of our resolve and our recovery. As we gather today to celebrate the change of the seasons, we also celebrate moving closer to the end of the pandemic. Change represents an opportunity for us all to fall forward, restart, reconnect, and reimagine our future. And perhaps most important, it's an opportunity to get off that couch and start doing things again together. Please enjoy the yoga class and your visit to Times Square today, and please come back often and enjoy all that Times Square has to offer. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the co-founder of this event, Douglas Stewart.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Look at the light in the square. Isn't it gorgeous and beautiful? You are in for a very wonderful and special class. I was telling Alex just earlier that this is the coveted spot this time period for classes. Tim Tompkins and I started this event certainly 19 years ago. And as I said earlier, it feels like I'm sending my kid off to college. You know, we have gone for a very long time nurturing and cultivating this event, thanks to Times Square Alliance and thanks to our sponsors. I really appreciate you coming to practice today. I am overjoyed to see your faces in light of the pandemic, and that we're all able to gather together in this square today and to experience, to share, to inspire each other, to keep going, to move forward. Thank you so much. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy, Alex.
And now, we are proud to have with us an ACE-certified personal trainer and certified functional strength coach who has developed a strong social media following and inspired people all over the world to become their strongest selves. She is a Nike master trainer, fitness model, and developed her own class called Flow Into Strong. Please give a warm welcome to your instructor this evening, Alex Silver-Fagan.
Wow. Oh, it's on. Hi, everybody. This is incredible. Can we all just look around for a second? It feels like we're back, right? We're back. And I'm back. This is my first class teaching live in about a year and a half, so it's really special to be sharing this moment with you, to be sharing the summer solstice with you. The sun is important for all of us. It creates life. And I was just saying earlier that, you know, the longest year, honestly, we feel like it was like the longest year of our life just happened, and this was the longest day of this year. And so how beautiful to end it together and start fresh tomorrow. So this is going to be a heart-opening class. We're going to lead with love and compassion and kindness for ourselves and for others around us. So I hope you're ready to flow and have some fun. Let's start in a seat towards the back of your mat. So we're going to come into Varasana, which is on your shins, sitting your hips to your heels. If this is super uncomfy on your ankles, you can always put one of those towels underneath you, or you can find a seat that feels better. That's totally fine. If you want to sit cross-legged, find a seat. And then once we find our seat, I want you to drop your shoulders down your back, sit a little bit taller, let the crown of the head reach towards the sun, and then do me a favor and just let the eyes close. And before I start the music, I want you to notice the sounds around you, the energy of this incredible landmark buzzing around you, alive, and recognizing that you are a part of that. Bring your right hand to your heart. Bring your left hand to your heart. Feel your breath moving within your hands. Feel your heart beating. And again, as I was saying, we're going to lead with love. Because when we take care of ourselves, we can give more to others around us. So throughout this practice, be kind to yourself. Meet yourself where you are in this moment. And we'll move from there. Start to take a deeper inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, take a big sigh out of the mouth. Let's do that again. Big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Good. Flutter the eyes open. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, drop your right arm down, side bend up and over towards the right. You can walk your right hand out a little bit more, bending into your arm to create more space in your left side body. Knit your ribs down towards your belly button and then wrap your bottom rib underneath your right rib towards the sky so that you can peek underneath your left arm. Smile. I just looked up and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what we're doing. Inhale, reach your arms up. Come all the way back up. Awesome. Other side. Left hand drops down, side bend up and over towards the left. I'm going to do the opposite of you right now. I just wanted to see all of you. Draw your shoulders down. Create more space in your ribs and breathe. Now we'll inhale, come back up. And now cactus the arms. Bring your elbows down, reach your heart towards the sky. I like to imagine that there's a laser beam from the back of my shoulder blades piercing through my heart up and open. And then take your hands behind you, gently lift your hips up, squeeze your booty, just open up your hip flexors. It's gonna feel so good. Wrap your shoulders open, smile. I am freaking out over how amazing this is. Drop your hips down, reach your arms out and take a child's pose. I'm gonna do that a million times and be like, we're in Times Square. Reach your arms forward, hips back to heels, let yourself land. So we're in a child's pose, but let's keep it active. Reach your fingertips forward a little bit more, so that you can draw your hips back behind you. And then we're gonna slide through to our belly. So slide through your arms, come all the way onto your belly. Legs are long, walk your hands back so they're right by your ribs, and then shoulders reach back behind you, and think about a grasshopper. Your elbows are gonna point towards the sky. So pull your elbows into the midline. Yeah. As if I'm gonna pull your feet back, use that to press down, reach your heart up, baby cobra. Chin stays tucked, just reach the heart forward. We're leading with our heart today. And then exhale to lower down. Bring your hands back by your low ribs a little bit more. If that felt like a lot on your back, you stay with your baby cobra. Otherwise, we're gonna press up into our up dog. Press down to the tops of your feet, straighten your arms, reach your heart forward, shoulders back. And then exhale, child's pose, hips to heels. Yeah, beautiful. Now come all the way up to stand on your shins. So lift your hips up, tuck your toes. You're gonna feel some nice sensation in the back of your feet. Draw your booty down so that you get more length in the front of your body. Hands are gonna come behind you. We're taking a baby camel. So again, your elbows, like I like to think of grasshopper wings. Pull your elbows back, reach your heart up and open, and we're not going back far. I just want you to think about that laser beam of your heart. Imagine you can see it up towards the sky. Awesome, one more breath in. And exhale, come back down, bring your hips to your heels, reach your arms long out in front of you, and we're gonna take it to our first down dog. So shine your hips towards the sky, straighten your legs, and then bend your knees left and right. I like to play around in my yoga practice, so I invite you to do the same. So shimmy your hips side to side, take your fingertips off the floor and then press them back down. Take a soft bend in your knees so that you can shine your hips up towards the sky. And draw your ribs down by your belly button so that you bring everything back into the midline. And then we're gonna take some tiny steps to the top of the mat, look towards the top of the mat and take a journey, little walk up towards the top. And then your feet can be hips width apart or they can touch, whatever feels better for you. Bend your knees and just sway. Let everything go. Anything from the day, let it wash off of you. Anything from the past year, let it wash off of you. And then bend your knees and roll your way to stand one vertebrae at a time. reorganize yourself, stand tall, Tadasana. I always say, ta-da, ta-da. That's what I want you to feel like, ta-da. You're here, we're here. Awesome work, hands to your heart. We'll take some Sun Salutations. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Take a half lift. You can press your hands to your shins or the floor, hips back, heart forward. And then exhale, place your hands down, step your left foot back behind you and pause. We're gonna do funky Sun Salutations because I'm funky, I have pink hair. Reach your right hand forward, make a big circle with your hand up and around, coming into a twist. And then your hand comes back down to the floor, step all the way back, down dog. Beautiful. Ripple forward to a plank. Roll yourself forward, shoulders come over your wrists. Knees up or down, we lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale to your upward facing dog or your baby cobra. Exhale, press back, down dog. Awesome work. Big breath in. Big breath out. Awesome, we're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach your heels up. Exhale, bend your knees, step or float to the top of the mat. Once you get there, take a half lift. Inhale, hips back, heart forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms reach out and up, gaze towards your thumbs. Exhale, hands to your heart and at your side, Tadasana. Inhale, arms back up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold. Take a half lift. Inhale, hips back, heart forward. Hands down, step your right foot back and pause. We're gonna take that twist again. So your left hand reaches forward like you're reaching towards me. Make a big circle so your thumb is pointing up towards the sky, back and around. Keep going with the circle so that your hand comes down to the floor. It's kind of like you're making a sun, right? What the sun does in the sky. I thought it was cute. Step back, down dog. Inhale, pull forward, plank. Knees up or down, lower halfway, chaturanga. Don't let your shoulders come forward. Inhale, upward facing, knees and thighs off of the mat. Exhale, press back, downward facing, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Yeah. Walk your feet a touch forward, lift your heels, inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, step or float to the top of the mat. Half lift, take an inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms reach up, gaze towards your thumbs, hands back down to your heart, and at your side, Tadasana. Now we're gonna take it to a chair pose. Bend your knees, sweep the floor, reach your arms up, and then land. Good, wiggle your toes. Make sure you're not leaning so far forward, and your knees, your feet can be hips width distance apart. If that feels better for your chair pose, awesome, right? Nothing is right or wrong. Wrap your pinkies in towards the midline, and realize the things that are hard help us find our strong. Good, 1 more breath in. Exhale, fold over your legs. Let it go. Good, half lift, reorganize yourself. And then place your hands down, step or float back, whatever you wanna do to meet back in a down dog. You can skip the vinyasa, you can take it, or not. And then meet me back in your downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna play. Reach your right leg back, but don't open your hips. So keep your hips square. Think of pressing your foot back into the wall or person, or we're in Times Square. There's a lot of things I could say here, so kick what's behind you. And then come forward, draw your knee to your nose. Gently step your right foot by your right thumb. Good, drop your back knee. Untuck your toes, and then we're going to take that circle we did before, reach your right arm forward, make a big circle back behind you so that your palm is facing towards the right side of your body, your thumb is facing towards the sky, and then if you can, bend your back leg and catch hold of the pinky toe side of your foot, quad stretch. Move your ribs away from your right thigh. This is not necessary. Everything I say is an option. If you're holding the foot, release it. Reach your right arm back down to the floor. And then I want you to tuck your back toes, so we're still in the same position. Reach your arms up. Anjaneyasana, low lunge, but your back toes are tucked. If it's painful, don't do it. If it's a sensation and it feels difficult, maybe stay there, because sensations tend to fade. It's hard though, but that's why this is a practice. Active, draw your right heel towards your left knee, draw your ribs down, reach up. And now this is where the fun comes in. Start to straighten your back leg. Straighten your back leg so you're in a lunge. Now drop your back heel so it's parallel to the back of the mat. Open up your arms, straighten your front leg, Trikonasana. We're gonna do that again so you can play with it. I like to do fun things and then we do it again. So Trikonasana, your front foot is facing the front of the mat. Your back foot is turned about 45 degrees in. I just saw myself on a big screen and I just lost my cool. Good, draw your booty back into the midline. Open up, shoulders down. Yeah, we're all a part of this. Imagine if I'm over there holding onto your left hand, I'm gonna pull you up. Inhale, bend into your front leg, warrior two. Good, and then land. Now with warrior two, are we so far forward in the future? Can we pull back to the midline? So this is my favorite pose, and the reason being our back is our past. We're anchored in our past. We're reaching towards our future, but our heart is in the present moment. And your drishti, your gaze can be anywhere. So if it hurts, if your neck isn't into looking forward, then you can look towards the side, that's fine. As long as your shoulders are down, arms are long. This is beautiful, guys. Perfect. Straighten the front leg, reach your arms up, turn your left heel in, and then we're gonna bend our arms and our legs coming into a goddess or a god. I don't like that, it's just goddess, but it's a warrior. Wrap your knees out, elbows down, and get a little funky with it. You can close your eyes. It's not like all of Times Square is looking. Yeah. Let it be silly. Good, straighten the arms and the legs, reach up. Now listen carefully. Your right hand is gonna sweep the floor. You're gonna bend your left leg and it's gonna be somewhat of a Skandasana. So your right hand is gonna bend down to the floor, or sweep the floor, bend your left leg, and we're reaching towards the back of our mat. Our left leg is bent, our right leg is straight. Now you're gonna take this to propel you to the front of the mat, standing on your right leg. So push off, press into your right foot, draw your left knee to your chest, reach your arms up. And I always give you another opportunity to do that. So if you're like, what just happened? Don't worry about it, we're gonna do it again. Good, arms up. Where's your breath? There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in your body, there's a lot going on around you. Come back to your breath. Can you get a little bit longer in the left side of your body? So it's easy with the right side, right? It's straight. Draw your left hip down, but draw your left knee up. Hold for another breath. And then step down, chair pose. Keep the fire. The sun is with us. Shoulders down, breathe. You are strong, you can do this. Smile, one more breath. Exhale, fold, let it go. Woohoo! Oh my goodness. We get to do it again and again. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, place your hands down, step or float back, take your own vinyasa. We meet in our down dog. Again, vinyasas are optional, but if you do them, the breath is not optional. Vinyasa means stringing together our movement with our breath, so it is necessary to stay connected. If you need to let out some heat here, flutter the lips, whatever you gotta do, as long as it's anchored in your breath and anchored in love. Left leg lifts, inhale. Pretend like you're kicking something back behind you. Keep your hips square to the floor. Now come forward, draw your left knee towards your nose. Step your left foot by your left thumb. Your back knee is gonna come down to the floor. You'll untuck your toes. Left arm reaches forward and around, big circle, and then bend your back leg if you can and catch hold of your foot. So your thumb is pointing up, you're holding the pinky toe side of your foot, and your shoulder should feel open. Draw your ribs away from your left thigh. Everything is optional. If you're breathing, you're doing yoga. You are. Good, release your foot, reach your left hand to the floor. Now tuck your back toes, so your right toes are tucked. Reach your arms up, low lunge, toes tucked. It feels so good. I love this variation, in my opinion. Drop your tailbone. Left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward. Shoulders down, smile. Nice. All right, straighten your back leg, lift your knee off of the floor. We're going to our Trikonasana, so back foot comes down to parallel to the back of the foot. Arms come open as you press down and straighten your front leg. Reach your right arm up. Left hand is on your shin or the floor. Be mindful not to lock out any joints, so stay fluid. Draw the shoulders down, ribs down. Open up and breathe. Good. Now I'm going to take your hand and I'm going to pull you up. Inhale, and then bend into your front leg. Warrior two. Shoulders down, spread open, find center. Imagine that someone could come over and take the skin on your left thigh and wrap it back behind you. And at the same time, there's a nice little internal rotation of your back leg, so your toes are reaching in and your hips are not really open towards the side. You're moving forward in life. Good. Straighten your arms and your legs, reach up, look up. Pull your right heel in. This is where we get funky. Bend your arms, bend your knees. Yeah. Sit low, open the knees up, shoulders down. Close your eyes. This is a powerful pose. Get the power from it. Yes, it is. Someone just said it is. Yeah, good. Straighten your arms and your legs, reach up. Okay, funky Skandasana, my version today. We're gonna take your left hand. You're gonna paint the floor as you bend your right leg and look towards the back of the mat. You're leaning towards the back of the mat. Bending your right leg, booty is back. It's a weird lunge. Yes, Russell, my brother's there in hot pink pants in the front row. He just got it right. Perfect. We're going to push ourselves towards our front leg to a balance. So push off your right leg, come to balance on your left, bring your arms up, right knee comes into your chest. Yes, we did it. Shoulders down, lift taller. It was the last class of the day. I couldn't have we had to work. We had to have fun. We got to play. It's a party. Again, create more length in the right side. Connect to your breath. Even as I'm talking, you can still breathe. You can find it. Sit down, chair pose. Put your foot down, sit your hips low, shoulders down. This is our strength here. Can you get a little bit lower? Can you keep your heart lifted? Always leading with love. Take another breath in. And then exhale, fold. Awesome work. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, hands down, step or float back. Take your vinyasa, or again, you can skip it. There is no shame in taking whatever you need. In fact, that is leading with love, leading with compassion, doing what you know is going to be best for you. And we'll meet back in our down dog. Now here's the fun bit. We get to do all of that again. We're going to move a little bit quicker, and we're going to add on at the end. I want you to listen to my voice, but I also want you to trust yourself and trust your body, and know that if something goes different than last time for you, it's all good. It's supposed to happen that way. Here we go. Right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Trust my voice. You don't need to look at me, I promise. Place your right foot down by your right thumb. Good. Now we're going to go straight to our Trikonasana here. I want you to press down, straighten your front leg, bring your back foot to the floor, reach your left arm up. Good. Wrap open. Bring your booty into the midline. You got a good booty. Bring it in. Ribs down. Now lift up. Inhale. Exhale. Fold into your warrior two. Don't fold, but just sit low into your warrior two. I got nervous again. I saw myself on the board. Straighten your arms and your legs. Reach up. Look up. Flying goddess. You're going to pull your left heel in. Goddess warrior. Bend your knees. Bend your arms. Sit low. Good. Low. Lift your heart. Now straighten your arms and your legs, reach up, take it to that funky Skandasana. Paint the floor with your right hand, bend into your left leg, and you're looking towards the back of the mat. You're gonna use this, your power, to come to balance at the top of the mat on your right leg. Press down, bring your left knee into your chest. You got it. Everyone meets me here. Yep, you got it. You got it. We did it before. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Good. Shoulders down. Breathe. Now here is where we're gonna bring our left knee down in line with our right. So drop your knee so they're both in line with each other and your heel is kicking your booty. Feel your hamstring fire up. Draw your ribs down and your tailbone down. Left hand is gonna reach back behind you the same way we've been doing before. Your palm is gonna face out, thumb up towards the sky, and then you catch hold of the big toe side of your foot. Awesome. Now I want you to think more about kicking into your foot and less about going down here. So all you're going to do is start to kick into your foot to take you into your dancer's pose, Nadarandasana. Keep lifting higher, keep your gaze up, and whatever variation you get to is fantastic. Good, breathe for 4, for 3, trust yourself. If you wobble, you're getting stronger for 2, Slowly bring yourself back. Draw your knee to your chest. Just one more challenge. And then you know it, we're sitting in our chair pose. Yay. Sit low. Awesome. Now this is going to be super fun because I'm going to ask you to take a risk. Lift your heels off the floor. Good. Bring your arms at your side and straighten your legs. Look over the top of your mat as if you're going to take that risk and fall forward, and you're going to fly. Awesome. Let it go and fold. Beautiful. All right, half lift, inhale. I am sweating. Are you? Exhale, fold. Hands down, step or float back. Vinyasa, please. Upward facing dog, and then we meet in our down dog. You did great. You are great. You really are. All right, left side, left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, step your left foot by your left thumb. Yes, and now we're taking it to our triangle pose. Drop your back heel, straighten your front leg, pull your arms apart, reach up and open. Trikonasana triangle pose. Both legs are straight, arms are pulling apart. Ribs pull down. Then lift yourself up into your warrior two. Lift up and bend into your front leg. Arms reach apart. Sink a little deeper, you got it. Straighten your arms and your legs. Turn your right heel in. We've been here before. Bend the knees, bend your elbows. You're in your goddess. Yes. Drop it low. Power. Good. Straighten the arms and the legs. Coming into that Skandasana, you're going to paint the floor. Bend your right leg. Look back. Paint the floor with your left arm. Bend into your right leg. It's really not a Skandasana. I'm just calling it that. And then we're going to push off. Find yourself towards the top of the mat, balancing with your right knee into your chest. Arms reach up. Good. All right, team. Drop your knees so they're in line with each other. You're balancing on your left foot. Pull your right heel to your glute. Oh, we've got some people going ahead of the game. Take your right hand, this is what happens when I teach in person, I can see it. Take your right hand, make a big circle back behind you. Your thumb is up, palm is facing out, and then grab hold of the big toe side of your foot. Good. From here, we start to kick into our foot, into our hand, reaching out and up. And if you fall like me, we're human. I love it. It means I get stronger every time. How about you? Can you meet yourself with compassion today? That was the goal. It wasn't to be perfect. Awesome. Come back, bring your knee into your chest, find one more moment in that balance, and then step your right foot down, sit down into your chair. Woo! Shoulders down, sit low, reach up and out. And now I'm gonna challenge you again. We're gonna take that risk again, all right? So lift your heels, straighten your legs, reach your arms back and tip forward. So you got a flat back, you're reaching your heart forward past your mat. Now this time, bring your hands down to the floor, bend your knees, open your knees apart, and your knees are gonna come to your triceps. We're gonna take a crow pose. If you're like, nuh-uh, not today, then you'll spread your feet wider and sit down into a malasana squat. If you wanna challenge yourself and take a crow, hands are on the floor, knees open up, knees to triceps, and then you maybe kick your butt with your left foot or your right, and then maybe you kick your butt with your other foot. Use your finger pads on the mat. Let me see. We're not watching me, I'm watching you. Let me see it. If you don't want to do it, just a squat is beautiful, awesome. If you're in your crow, breathe. Yes, this is what we challenge ourselves. All right, awesome. Let's all meet in a malasana squat. So hips down. Use your arms to open up your knees. Hands to a prayer, breathe open. And then place your hands down, lift your hips up, heel toe your feet a little bit closer together, and just let it go. Good, take a half lift, inhale. Exhale, hands down, step or float back, vinyasa. We'll meet back in down dog. Soft bend in your knees. Hips to the sky. Inhale, come all the way forward. Knees up or down, lower yourself down to your belly for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Once you get on your belly, bring your left ear to the mat. So your left cheek is to the mat, your arms are back, and then bend your knees and just let your feet sway side to side. And then bring it back to center. Bring your forehead towards the mat, and then hands underneath your shoulders. We're going to take a baby cobra again, so press down to the floor, start to reach your heart up, lifting your chin off of the mat, lifting your chest off of the mat, and your hands off of the mat. And then from here, reach your arms back behind you, and imagine like you're holding a block with your hands. Reach back and reach the heart, crown of the head forward for 3, for 2, for 1. Lower down, bring your right ear down, arms at your side. Just shimmy your hips side to side if it calls for it. And then you'll bring your head back to center. And the arms are back behind you. This time, as we lift, so you're gonna reach your arms back, start to lift your heart up, start to lift your legs back behind you. Now we have 2 options here. You can either interlace the hands at your low back and take a locust, or if you'd like a challenge, you can bend your legs and grab hold of the pinky toe sides of your feet, and just like we did in dancers, you kick into your hands to reach the heart forward and lift up and open. Whatever variation is for you, you either have the legs long and you're reaching through the hands, or you're kicking to your hand for 3. You can bring the gaze up for 2, for 1, lower down, and bring your hands down, hips to heels, child's pose. Take a few moments here. We just did a lot of work. We're still working, but just giving you a moment to come back to center. Pull yourself forward and lift your hips up, coming into a downward facing dog again. Pedal through your legs, bend your knees left and right. And now, just because it was so fun, we're gonna do that sequence one more time, 1 breath, 1 movement, and then we're gonna hit the floor. So inhale, reach your right leg up, 1 breath, 1 movement. Exhale, knee to nose, step it forward. Good, drop your back foot, open up triangle pose. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend into your front leg. I like to repeat things. I think repetition makes you awesome. Straighten your front leg, reach your arms up, turn your heel in, bend your knees. Goddess, you guys got this? Yes, straighten the arms and the legs. Reach up. Now we're taking that funky Skandasana. Paint the floor, look back. We're moving a little quicker. Good, push off to the front of the mat. Press into your right foot, draw your left knee to your chest. This time, we're taking it to we're taking it to a warrior 3. You're gonna kick through your heel, reach your palms down, reach your heart forward. Be compassionate with yourselves, like me, where poses get confusing. Kick through your back heel, so you're long through the body, pressing down through your right foot. Yes, awesome work. And then let your back foot come to the floor, reach your arms up, coming into a high lunge. Hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Good, optional vinyasa. Inhale forward to your plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, one more side, last time. Left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, step it forward. Trikonasana, drop your back heel, straighten your front leg, open your arms up. Good, inhale, lift up, exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, straighten your arms and your legs, turn your right heel in, bend your knees, bend your arms, coming into your goddess. Good, straighten the arms and the legs, reach up, Bend your right leg as you paint the floor with your left arm, funky Skandasana. Look, when we do it the third time, it feels better. Maybe. Come forward to the top of the mat. Bring your right knee to your chest. Good, nice and strong. Press down through your left foot. Kick through your heel. Reach your heart forward, your heel back. Toppling tree or warrior three. Reach back. Good, let the back foot come to the floor. Reach your arms up, high lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back, down dog. Inhale, pulls you forward to your plank. Exhale, you lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Whew. You're gonna like this one. Right leg reaches up. Exhale, draw your shin forward so that it's parallel to the top of the mat, setting up for a pigeon. Slide your left leg back. We made it. We made it. Now, if this is not working for you, you can always lay on your back and bring your right ankle to your left thigh and take a figure four there. If you're down for a pigeon here, before we start to fold forward, bring your hands to frame your front shin. Drop your shoulders down, lift your heart higher, create more space. And then let yourself come forward. Y'all worked real hard. Are you proud of you? Because I am. Good. If you are in that figure four, make sure to flex your right foot. You're fine, but just no, you're right. Just keep your right foot flexed. That's your left foot. There you go. And now this is where we're gonna get a little quieter. We had a lot of fun. And it's still gonna be fun, but I want you to start to tune it in a little. And again, notice what's happening around you. Realize that even in moments of stillness like this, holding a pose, you are still very much moving. Your heart is beating, but the blood is flowing. There's sweat trickling off your forehead. And our beings, our soul, is vibrating with the energy of everything around you. This is the most energetic place that I've ever been. So as we come towards the other half or the end of the practice, start to take in that energy. Very slowly, you can start to peel yourself up. And then we're gonna take our left leg, and if you're on your back, you can just sit up and bring your left leg around so it's on a diagonal towards the top of your mat. Your right foot is pressed to the inside of your left thigh, so it's kind of like a tree pose in the legs. And then turn your torso so you're facing over your left leg. Reach your arms towards the sky. And then reach your heart forward towards your toes, reaching for your leg. And you can also, an option is to reach, to cross your arms and reach your right arm towards the left and left hand towards the right, and then pull yourself down, but that's totally optional. And if you find that you're kind of just slumping forward, stay lifted here and maybe just start to rotate over and treat it a little bit more like a twist. And I'm trying to think of a way to articulate what I'm feeling, which is this is very much like our minds, right? Like we're trying to slow down and stop, but then I'm hearing people screaming and shouting and laughing and giggling around. And I'm grateful for that. I don't know about you. Start to lift yourself up. Take your left leg and we're gonna swing it all the way over our right so your left foot comes to the floor and we're in a little pretzel position coming into a seated spinal twist. Yeah. So make sure both of your hips are down on the floor. Reach your arms up and then we'll twist over towards the left. So you can wrap your right arm over your right leg. Left hand is behind you. You can always hook your right leg or right arm by your right thigh, left thigh. Wow. Right and left is real hard and twist. I forgot. Good. We're twisting to the left. Press down through your left fingertips to get long. So we want to create more length here, not just kind of dumping towards the side. And breathe. Did you know that breathing is the only thing that we can do consciously and unconsciously, which is why it has the power to shift our perception, our emotions, and our experience. So breathe. So we're gonna take a counter twist now. Slowly bring your hands all the way towards the right, so much so that your fingers are on the back of the mat. We're gonna do another fun thing. Press your hands down and press down to your feet, start to twist, turn all the way to the right, turn all the way, turn all the way, turn all the way, that you come to a seat in a twist facing the other way. Just make a big circle behind you. And if it didn't work, come to a seated spinal twist on the other side. Play. This is for play. Reach your arms up and then we'll twist towards the left. So you're gonna gaze over the left now. Right hand is going to come back behind you to lift taller so you can twist deeper. Good. Can you create more space with your inhales? And more depth with your exhales? I like to think about that as I move through my day too. Can I create more space as I take in what's around me? And then can I give more depth with what I say, with how I act? So now we're gonna do everything we just did in reverse. So just come to face forward. We're not gonna break dance again. Instead, your right foot is gonna come out towards the diagonal of the mat. Left foot is on the inside of your right thigh. Turn your torso over your right leg, Janu Shirshasana. Reach your arms up. And then exhale, pull your heart forward. Lead with your heart. So think of this as a twist just as much as a fold. Your left ribs are trying to wrap down towards your right. And you've got a lot of different options with the arms, of course. So we'll slowly start to lift ourselves out of this pose. And now we're moving into our pigeon on the other side. So our left shin is gonna be parallel to the front of the mat. So you're gonna swing your right leg all the way back around. If you took that spinal twist on your, or if you took the figure four on your back, you can lay down on your back now. And then get yourself settled so that your left shin is close to parallel, but it's never gonna be, and it doesn't have to be, so don't aim for it. Get to a place where you can feel some release in the back of your left booty. A lot of length through the right side, create space, and then when you're ready, you can certainly start to fold. you send some breath to places in your body you might not be focused on? So you can feel your left hip, but can you send some breath to in between your eyebrows? And then when you're ready, you can start to lift yourself up out of your pigeon. And place your hands down, step all the way back to your down dog. And bend the knees left and right. And then knees down, hips to heels, child's pose. Slowly roll yourself up to a seat. And let's just take a moment here before we move on to our back. And before we lay down, I invite you to keep the eyes open for a moment and just look around. It was a long year and it was a long day, but the sun always rises. Let's sit off to one hip. Bring your feet down, knees up towards the sky. Reach your arms nice and long, and you're going to support yourself. So draw your belly down, and as if I'm there holding you, because I am, I've got you. We've all got each other, okay? We're gonna hold each other as we slowly lower down for 5, for 4, don't let go, for 3, for 2, it's a long 2, I got you, and all the way down for 1. Once you get there, bring your feet as wide as the mat, let your arms open out to the side, and just let your knees fall side to side like windshield wipers. We've done a lot of twists, we've done a lot of back bends, so this is just to release the low back and create a little bit more fluidity there. And then let the knees fall over to the right. Bring your right ankle over your left thigh, and we're just gonna hold that so that you can feel your own support pulling a little bit more space for your left hip flexor. And then bring your right hand to your ribs. And breathe into the mat, breathe into the back body. You can feel your breath in your hands. And then we're just gonna gently switch sides, so unlock that foot, let your knees go towards the left, and gently let your left ankle come onto your right thigh, just as support for your right hip. And left hand to your ribs. Breathe really deeply into your hand and pressing down into the mat. Come back to center. We're gonna do one more thing together before we land on in a full Shavasana. So lift your legs up to a tabletop. I want your legs at a 90-90. Your feet are flexed. Draw your ribs down so you can feel your back pressing into the mat, and then take your hands and press into your thighs. Press your thighs into your hands. I want you to feel like you're shaking for 5. Press, press, press for 4. Create some work for 3, for 2, and release. Arms and legs extend long. Whew. If there's anything else that you need here, please go for it. Otherwise, you'll land with yourself in Shavasana and take up space. And oftentimes we close our eyes in Shavasana, but this is such a sensory environment. Notice if you can keep the eyes open, and instead of attaching to anything that you see or anything that you hear, just simply observing and feeling gratitude for everything that is around you. So we're still here in the Shavasana. This is your time to soak up this moment. When else are you going to be lying on the ground in the middle of Times Square with nothing to do but to be? This is magic. Very mindfully start to come back into your body, wiggling the fingers or the toes, taking a deeper breath. Eventually rolling your way onto your right side, and you'll land there in a fetal position just for a moment. And if you're already seated, that's fine too, but I want you to take a moment in a fetal position. This is a primal pose, how we began, just as the day begins with the sun. So as you come back from this practice, from this day, from this year, recognize you have the ability to start over, just as you're coming out of this fetal pose. So you'll make your way to a seat. And again, you have the option to keep the eyes open, to take in everything around you. And then once we're there, you'll bring your right hand to your heart and your left hand to your heart as well. I'm going to read you one of my favorite quotes about the sun. Even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, "You owe me." Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky. Look what happens with a love like yours. It lights this whole city. Bring your hands to a prayer. The light in me, the love in me, honors the light and love in each and every one of you. Namaste. I got so excited, I went so fast. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, bye. Thank you, everybody. Okay, bye.
Give another warm round of applause for Alex Silver-Fagan for closing out the night. And please stop by the Yoga Village on Broadway between 47th and 48th Streets before you leave today. Sweat looks good on you. Offline by Aerie is activewear made for your real life. Check them out in the Aerie Soho store on Spring Street. From workout to work day, refresh with Smart Water Alkaline for a higher pH balance. Smart Water Alkaline, they've added a little more so you can go a little further. Stop by the Smart Water tent in Yoga Village to receive a complimentary bottle. We would like to thank the Consulate General of India, New York, for their support to the event. Solstice in Times Square coincides with the International Day of Yoga, an idea which was suggested by India. The United Nations General Assembly proclaimed June 21st as the International Day of Yoga for the promotion and celebration of yoga across the world. Don't forget to visit the Consulate tent at the Yoga Village, which features large number of products. And spread the good karma by making a donation to Community First, a new initiative where navigators on the street build relationships and trust with vulnerable people in Times Square with the goal of getting them help. You can donate right now by going to tsq.org and make a difference in the world today through yoga. Join the conversation using hashtag SolsticeTSQ and tag @TimesSquareNYC. The Times Square Alliance hopes to see everyone next year for the 20th annual Solstice in Times Square Mind Over Madness Yoga.
Hello, you. Wow, what a wonderful, wonderful class, Alex. I was sitting there over on the side watching the class, and I could feel the energy. I could feel your prana. I was going to say fire, but I edited myself into yoga lingo. Prana. I could feel your energy and the energy of the practitioners that joined you tonight. What a wonderful enthusiasm. How did you prepare for this event? Any special things that you did differently, or?
For sequence, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for those compliments coming from you. That's like wild, and I'm also so honored to be here. And yes, the energy, the prana, the life that I have is because look at this. Like, we're in Times Square. It's incredible, and I didn't think that I could bring anything less than my full self and my full heart and my full fire to Times Square. Did I do anything different to prepare? Well, I knew that I wanted a heart-opening class. I didn't sequence any differently than I usually do. I'm pretty funky and fun, and I take the bye, everybody. My original background is Ashtanga, and then I've done a liquid flow advanced training, so I have a lot of fun fluidity around the Ashtanga sequence, but I knew I just wanted it to be heart-opening, silly, fun, playful. Oops, and there's a bug. Silly, fun, playful like that. And then to prepare, you know, I took it easy today. I went to for my own personal day. I took my dog to Prospect Park, and we went for a nice long walk to try to ground ourselves first and walk in the grass before I came to this. So.
Wow, amazing. And I love how you had this playful attitude and made the practice very light, even though it was very challenging. I was sitting, but I was sweating watching.
Yeah.
But you made it light with your enthusiasm and your joie de vivre. It wasn't heavy at all.
Yeah.
I said earlier, I'm envious of this light. What did you think of the light around you and the sun setting? What was it like teaching in that atmosphere?
To be honest, it was overwhelming, which I was very overcome with emotion of the fact that, we were talking about this before, and I mentioned it in my class, but last year felt very long. It was a long year, and today was a long day. And so as the sun was setting, to me, it felt like this beautiful symbolism of it's ending and we can start over. And we're transitioning and we're shifting and we're growing, and we're all here together sharing in this life. And I'm just grateful that that life is still around after a really long year. Yeah. And I also want to add to what you were just saying, and to the difficulty of the class, or the challenge of the class. Thank you for noticing that. I love to challenge myself and others in a way that is playful. Nothing is ever, it's not necessary. I'm not forcing you to do anything, but I'm inviting you to really push the limits of yourself and realize that you can, and if you can't today, maybe you can tomorrow, and if not, who cares? You had fun trying. Yeah. And that comes from my own background also as, you know, I'm a personal trainer as well, and a kettlebell coach, and then a yoga teacher also. So when I approach my clients when they're lifting barbells, I never want it to feel super scary or difficult or impossible. Nothing's impossible. Yeah. If you create that lightness, you can do anything.
You can do anything.
Yeah.
Did any of the distractions disturb you at all?
Yeah. Who else? Raise your hand if you've taught in Times Square besides you for 19 years. This is a very interesting, intense environment, and my background, for 3 years I was teaching actually in like a black box studio where nothing was around, no distractions. And so this was on a whole nother level. The freakiest part was when I turned and I saw myself on the screen to my left, and I was like, oh my God, that's me, we're in Times Square. And then I looked around also at everybody watching, and I saw all the mats laying down on Broadway, and I was like, this happens once a year, that we are come together to be a part of the joy of yoga. And so yes, I was very overwhelmed.
Well, you certainly brought joy to yoga today.
Thank you.
It was great to have you on board today, and I look forward to working with you and seeing you in the future.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaste, Alex. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're still live, as a matter of fact.